Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about what is on my yearly TBR. I did not want to do 26 and 26 because I also do other challenges and I have a stack of books left over from last year that I didn't finish. So the TBR is going to be bigger than it was. It's going to be bigger than 26, but it's also going to be less than 48, which is what my challenge it was 36 last year because it was one from each month plus 25, so it was actually 37. So it's actually gonna be smaller. That's my math, girl math, book math. Anyway, I'm gonna go through the 3 categories of books that I put into this jar right here, which is my yearly TBR jar. It's a Wonder Woman cup and it has sparkles on it. I don't use to drink out of. It just has the slips of paper in it. I'm not gonna go through the slips of paper because we are missing a couple because they are on my January TBR. I believe 3 books are on my January TBR, which is a good start to what we need to do here. So let's go ahead and get started with the rollovers. The first rollover, so these are the rollovers that I didn't get to in 2025. This was on my 25 and 25, didn't get to it, still wanna read them, but didn't get to it. This is also rollovers from my personal challenge. So the personal challenge that I did last year was reading the top book from a Goodreads list for each month. So the book list that I went with was added to most shelves. So people were most interested in these books. They added them to the Goodreads shelves. Doesn't mean they were read, but it's the ones that they added. And so I had picked the top book as long as it wasn't part of a series and it wasn't a part of a series that I haven't started or I hadn't already read it. So like we'll go through January. Onyx Storm was the #1 book for January 2025. I already read that, can't pick it. So let's go through that. There's only 2 books that I'm rolling over from the challenge. The first one is The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. I'm pretty sure this was October, which would make sense because it's a mystery thriller. October makes sense. And that had the most added to shelves last year in 2024. And then Variation by Rebecca Yarros, that was the November book. The December book also happened to be on my 25 and 25 last year, and that was Quicksilver. I still want to read this book. I'm kind of scared of it, not gonna lie, kind of scared because I feel like it's just, I don't know if it's gonna be my cup of tea. I've heard with people who review books and read books the way that I do, in the same general sense, I don't think I'm gonna like it. But anyway, it's still on there. I still want to read it. So the other rollover, so for my 25 and 25, I finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I ended up finishing 16. Yeah, 16 of my 25 and 25. I'm okay with that. I feel like that's a pretty big goal anyway when I only read 82 books, I think, 82. So could have done better, I guess. The rollovers from that are The Silent Patient, which I am is on my TBR this month. The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I love Leigh Bardugo. I really liked the series that she had with what is that even called? It was like The Familiar, this is The Familiar. Anyway, I really love the Hellbent and Alex Stern series. That one, the next one's coming out in September. I'm so excited to read it, but I haven't read this one. This one came out last year, I believe, or 2024. Shadow and Bone trilogy. I liked that. I do still have to read Crooked Kingdom. I've read Sister Prose, but I haven't read that. 2024 is when this came out, so I want to catch up on her backlist. Still want to read that. Next is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. It is a romance. I'm not a big romance girl. You're not going to see a ton of romance on here, but I do want to read some of it, and I have a ton of romance books that I haven't read. I do have the 2 books that come after that, so reading Part of Your World, I want to do it this year. Next is The Ministry of Time. This book also came out in 2024, I believe. It was it's a science fiction time travel kind of book, but also I think it has romance in it, so we want to read that one still. I still want to try Caraval. This was on a couple of TBRs and I never got to it, unfortunately, but I've heard amazing things about it. And then there is the, what is it? Once Upon a Broken Heart series, which is also, and then she started a new series and I don't want to get behind. So I'm already behind. I want to read Caraval. I want to at least try the series out. Again, not sure if I'll like it, but next is The Life Impossible. This came out in 2024 from Matt Haig. I think it was 2024. Yeah, 2024. I don't think he released anything last year. He's one of my favorite authors. He wrote The Midnight Library, The Humans. He should be on my shelf right here. I don't know where it is. Haig. That would be, oh, I think he's just hiding behind other things. Oh, How to Stop Time. That's the other book I've read by him, but I really like this. And he's coming out with another, like, The Midnight Library book, which is similar. This did not get very good reviews, so that's why I've avoided it, but I do want to read it. He writes a lot of like magical realism, literary stuff. And then Mistborn. Still haven't read this, still want to. I've read one Brandon Sanderson book. I liked it, but you know, this is very intimidating. The words are small and there's a lot of pages. Even though it doesn't look that big, it is super floppy though, and I love that. And then the last book that I don't have, I have it on audio. It is Oath and Honor by Liz Cheney. This is a politically relevant book. I still want to read it. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I'll listen to it. I like to listen to memoirs, but it's like, I think it's called A Memoir and a Warning. I'm not going to talk about politics on here, but I'm interested to see what she has to say about everything. I'm not, anyway, not going to talk about politics. Anyway, let's go into the books that I chose for my challenge. I changed my challenge a little bit this year, and I'm going to do the top 5 because some of the books like Intermezzo by Sally Rooney I had last year, I ended up DNFing it from my challenge, and I just didn't really want to read that. And I still have it. It's still in, I think, the non-physical jar. Like, I may still read it at some point, but it really bogged me down from finishing other books. And the same with the Jodi Picoult one that I read last year. They really bogged me down from reading the next books. So I want to have more choice. I also was reading it in the month that it was released or whatever, like added to most shelves that month. But I'm not going to do that this year. I'm just putting them all in the yearly TBR, and I've pre-picked them. So the ones for November and December might not be quite right, but usually added to most shelves, like people are doing that as it comes out. It might change a little bit throughout the year, but this is what we're picking. So my rules are, one, I couldn't have read it already. If I already read it, then I read 20 new releases from 2026. So if any of those books are in the top 5, and some of them are, like Onyx Storm, I can't add it again. I has to be in the top 5, and I get to veto. If I don't want to read it in that month, I don't have to. It's also not going to be chosen by month. So I am reading this month, the July book, I'm reading in January because it came out of the jar. It fits some other challenges that I'm doing. All of my books just went down. That's okay. That's okay. I think this is my 12 picks for 26. Anyway, so let's go through it. So for January, the number 1 book was Onyx Storm. Next was The Crash by Frida McFadden. I read The Housemaid this year. I still have The Boyfriend to read. And I also don't want to pick authors over and over again because Frida also is on another month, but I am just picking The Crash because it's the first one. That's my January book. Next is First Time Caller by B.K. Borson. The number 1 book was Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I know I'm not going to be interested in that. I read Bride. I did not like Bride. I know it's different, but I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to like that. The next one was Sunrise on the Reaping for March, and this one makes sense. I haven't read it yet, and I've read the 3 Hunger Games books. I do want to read the Ballad of the Songbirds and Snakes before this, and then read this one, but this was the challenge book, so that's what it is. Next is, I struggled with this one. There was nothing in the top 5 that I really wanted to read for April, so we're going with Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I'm gonna wait until it comes out in paperback to buy it, because unless I can get it on audio for cheap, or if I can get it a different way, like on my Kindle for cheap, if it's on like a daily deal, I'll probably just buy it that way until I can get the paperback. I just want all the paperbacks that I have to match. I think I have all of hers. I've read 2, haven't read 3. I'm not that interested in this book. I haven't loved the other 2 that I've read. Oh my God. My book stack also does not want me to read Great Big Beautiful Life. I already vetoed it. It came out of the jar already, and I already was like, no, we're not doing that one, because I don't own it yet. So I don't own a lot of these. Oh, I do own the next one. So next was, so in May, the top one was The Tenant by Frida, but we're not picking more than one Frida. So the next one was My Friends by Frederick Bachman. I do have this on my Kindle. I'm very excited to read that one. Next, I don't own this book yet, but it's Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've read 1 Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have Daisy Jones on the Six on my Kindle. I did not like Evelyn Hugo. But I read that at a time when I was like not into, like, it was not a good time. I wasn't doing BookTube yet. Like, I had a family member who was sick, and it took me a long time, and I just did not care. But I will try Atmosphere. It's gotten ridiculously good reviews, so maybe it will turn me into a Taylor Jenkins Reid lover. Who knows? Next is We Are All Guilty Here by Karen Slaughter. The number 1 book was Catabasis, but I read that already. It is right here. I think you guys can see the beautiful sprayed edges here. So that one I've already read. So the next one was We Are All Guilty Here by Karen Slaughter. I found some really good thrillers last year from this challenge, so I would like to try that. I've never read that. September, I mean, I want to read this, so I bought it for a reason, but it is Alchemized by Senlin Yu. This is the Germani fanfic. It's very long, but honestly, I'm reading Priority of the Orange Tree right now, and I am loving it, and it is thicker than this. Actually, that's not true. That's 800 pages. This is like 1,000, I think. But I'm not scared of big books anymore because I really love it. It just takes a long time to get through. Next is another one that I'm like, I don't know. October had like 2 other Fridas in the top 5. I ended up going with Gone Before Goodbye. This was the book that Reese Witherspoon wrote with someone else. I'm kind of hesitant to read celebrity books because I read Kristen Ritter's last year and it wasn't that good. So, and I don't think the reviews on the Gone Before Goodbye book are very good, and like it really wasn't like talked about too much. So I don't know about this one, but I'm gonna try it. November, the first one was I can't think I can read what that says. I don't know. I can't read that, but I decided for the last 2, because they are parts of series, that I'm just gonna read the first book as part of the challenge. So, and if I love it, I'll move on. Will of Many is gonna be on my list. I have this on audio, but I have not listened to it. And The Strength of the Few was the top book for November. So if I love The Will of the Many, I will also get The Strength of the Few and listen to it. Or buy it and read it, who knows. And then December, the When in Rome series was the top book. This is Sarah Adams. I wanted to make sure I had some romance on here because I am trying to like romance. It's just not my jam usually. And the 4th book in the series, called In Your Dreams, was the top book, but I haven't read the first one, so I'm gonna put the first one on my yearly TBR. Okay, next we have got 12 picks for 26. These are the last 12 books that are added into my TBR, my yearly TBR. So I have 12 for each month, 11 rollovers from the challenge and for my 25 and 25, and now I have 12 picks for 26. These are just 12 books that I was thinking about doing for 26 and 26, and they kind of like sparked my interest the most. I also own them all physically, so that will be helpful. But let's just go through these and I'll give you a quick description of why I picked them, etc. First, we have Wool by Hugh Howry. This is the first book in the Silo series. I did a little book shopping with some coworkers earlier this year, and one of my coworkers said this was her favorite series of all time. So I had to buy it, and I want to read it because she loves it. Next is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I want to read this. This is currently on my TBR. If there's a book I don't get to this month, it's probably this one. Oh, I don't think I talked about July. Pause. Go back to July for their Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. That one is on my current TBR, so that's why I didn't talk about it. But I am really excited to read that one. It's about a girl who gets into an accident, or she's almost murdered, and she's trying to solve her own murder before the like aneurysm or whatever that created in her brain makes her die, which I think was a really cool concept and something that I've thought about with writing as well, but in a different way. But anyway, I want to read that book. So it's on my audio list for this month. I do own it on, I think, Apple Books. I think it was like $2.99 or something. So I always check those deals. Next, The Bone Season for 12 for 26. This one is just a long series that I want to get started, and I've had it for a while, and a lot of people really love this. It's more epic fantasy, which I tend to really, really like. So that one. Next, I want to start the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. Again, my coworkers are obsessed with this. Everyone who I talk to about this book wants to read it so badly, or wants me to read it, and I want to too. A couple of the girls in my book club have also read quite a few of these, and I definitely want to get started with it at least this year. Next is The Nimbus by Robert Baird. I think that this is an advanced reader's copy that I got on Independent Bookstore Day last year in 2025. They had like ones that if you bought a book, you could get an ARC for free kind of thing. And this is the one that I picked. This is about I've not seen anyone talk about this book, but I've had it for a while and it really does seem interesting. I just haven't read it. It's about a professor at divinity school, and a child starts, like, his hand starts glowing, and they think it's like a god type science thing. So it's that story. I picture it being like kind of magical realism literary. So hopefully I like it. We'll see. I've not heard anyone talk about this book. I don't even know what the ratings are, but it came out in June of last year. So I have the art copy. I don't know if the cover is still the same. I think it is, but I'm not sure. Next is Here One Moment by Leanne Moriarty. I want to read this because it has been on my list for a while. I finally picked it up this year. I got it, I don't know where I got this. I didn't pay full price for it. And I don't love that it's like a smaller book. I wish it was like a little taller, like The Nimbus is. But it's one that I've really wanted to read. It's about people on a plane, and they, like, someone predicts that they're gonna die, I think, and then it follows all those people to see like when they actually die. So I thought that was really interesting. Next, I'm not reading this whole thing, just Sense and Sensibility from here. So that is one of the stories in here. This is Jane Austen's complete works. So there's 6 in here. I've only read Pride and Prejudice. Next, I want to do Sense and Sensibility, and I figure a classic for a reason. I've had this book for longest. I've had this for such a long time. This is Light Lark by Alex Astor. I even have Nightbane and haven't read this one yet, so I definitely want to read this one. I think it is something that I'll like romantasy that I'll like, with lots of world building. So Light Lark. Another trilogy I really want to read is The Poppy War. One of my girls in my my physical book club has read The Poppy War, and she thought it was so good, and we usually like a lot of the same books. So I'm very excited to read this one. Plus it's quite popular on YouTube. On YouTube, on the internet. I have read Catabasis, and I've read Yellowface. I liked Catabasis way better than Yellowface, but we'll see how I like this one. Fairy Tale by Stephen King. This is the only Stephen King book I own that I haven't read. I don't have a lot of his books, like, to be clear. I think the other one actually is right here, yeah, Billy Summers, which was one of my favorite books that I read last year. It might be number 1. So obviously I want to read Fairy Tale because it's on that list, and we'll see. It's about a kid though, and I don't really like books about kids, so that's why I've been avoiding it. Plus it's kind of thick. Next, I don't know why it's not out here. It should be. I didn't grab it, I guess, but Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. I've had this book for a very long time. You can see the edges are a little old, and yeah, it's time to read this book. I bought it when the movie came out in like 2002 or something, or 2012. I don't know, when was this copy? Yeah, 2000. It was originally released in 2004, and then 2012 is when I bought this copy. So I've had it for over 10 years. Time to read it. Time to read it. That is the oldest book on my TBR. Next is Babylonia. I love mythology books, so I definitely want to read this one. Also, I love the sprayed edges. This released last year and I never got to it. It's definitely one I want to read, and this will fit a couple of Herkiad prompts specifically, so definitely one I want to get to. Love a cool map, the Northwest Palace. I'm very excited to read this. I don't know anything about ancient Babylonia, so I believe this is a mythological retelling. Yeah. Someone said it is better than Clytemnestra, which I also have from this author. Okay, and then the last book on my yearly TBR is Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. I read A Man Called Ova last year. We also have My Friends on this list, but this is an older backlist book that I want to read. I have all of his books, I think. I don't have the newest new releases, but I have like a couple of his books. They're all back here. I have Beartown, Us Against You, Britt Marie is here, my grandmother sends her Regards and Apologies, which I think has been renamed because it's called something else now on Goodreads. And then I also have A Man Called Ova and Anxious People. And this is like one of the most popular ones, and it was made into a show. So I do want to read it. Should be good. That is everything that is in my TBR jar for my yearly TBR. These are all the books that are priority that I want to read in the next 12 months. Hopefully we get to them. If we don't, we'll just roll them over to the next year, because that's how it works. But if you ever want to know what is in here, if you want to go back after watching one of my videos and you're like, what is in that cup? Come back to this video and watch it again. So I will see you guys in my next one. What are you reading this year? Please tell me, and I will see you later. Bye.